Every day is different and brings something new and wonderful when one is a children's librarian at the Shaler North Hills Library. As part of my job, I have the blessing of seeing children grow from wee little babies into incredible young people. Getting to visit our Shaler area schools is a special bonus. The kids who were babies when I started the job at the library are in 6th grade now. It's incredible because they get older, but I just get more immature. One of the best parts of my position is getting to meet new families, those who've just moved into the district. And as we all know, parents and caregivers of soon-to-be kindergartners are naturally a little bit anxious. But I can assure them that I have benefited from the Shaler area schools, class of 1989, baby. And I am also currently in the schools at least once a week, from the primary schools all the way up through the high school. And so I see the committed educators and staff that our district has. I tell those parents, Shaler area education is one of the heart, the body, the mind, and the spirit. And then, because I like to talk, I tell them the difference that the district has made in my life. It might be hard to believe, but I was an extremely shy child. So much so that in 4th grade, I attended Rogers School. My teacher, Mrs. Janice McPhail, demonstrated caring and kindness, allowing me to give my oral class report only to her, instead of her and the other students. Yes. Is it she and the other students? No, it's her. It's her. Her and the other students. Yeah. So, she took my own needs and my own concerns into consideration. And she took the time to care. And because of that, I grew. Still, though, speaking in front of people, it was still a problem for me. It wasn't solved right then in 4th grade, but I was on the way. I was so shy still that during high school, when I worked as a student page at the Shaler Library, you can ask the women with whom I worked back then. You can ask them. Many people never heard me say one word. Well, wouldn't you know, as I moved along in high school, God started to make some strange rumblings in my heart. And I felt God calling me to ministry. That's scary, but what was really scary was that ministers, aren't they the men and women who have to get up in front of a bunch of people every week and talk about something? Yeah, I could not have imagined that happening. But I just felt that tug. So what do I do now? Well, what happened was, when I was picking out my electives for 11th grade, there was a curious and terrifying course that was offered that year. It was called Speech and Debate, and it was offered by Mr. David Fortune. And everybody loved Mr. Fortune, and we still do, as he is still involved in the school district as a volunteer. Well, I checked off that box. I'll take Speech and Debate. Everyone who knew me thought I was a little bit crazy. Knew that I was. I worried all summer, and I did my best not to chicken out and change my schedule. And Mr. Fortune was yet another teacher who met me where I was, who took mine and every student's own needs and learning styles into consideration, and helped me build my confidence and my skill. And so now when people say, "Don't you ever shut up?" I can say, blame Mr. Fortune. Without the nurturing, wise guidance from Mrs. McPhail and Mr. Fortune and other teachers I had along the way, well, this community, it would certainly be a lot quieter. And now I preach on Sundays, I tell stories during the week to wonderful children and families, and I even tell mildly amusing jokes as part of a stand-up comedy routine that I do. When a parent or a caregiver comes to me at the Shaler Library and shares a concern about their quiet or shy child, I can tell them my story. I say, I barely spoke until I was 16 or 17 years old, and because of the Shaler Area School District, now I don't shut up. And it's with deep gratitude that I share the difference that SASD made in my life. And it is a great joy to testify to new families and tell them, your kid is entering Shaler in the fall? Well, I know you worry, but trust me, if your kid is going to a Shaler area school this fall, he or she is in great hands. Thank you for this opportunity to share my personal story, and thank you for allowing me to share it in the community every day.